We say thank you when life gives us something good, a gift, a blessing, or a sudden win. But what happens when life gives you nothing, when your hands are empty and your heart feels forgotten? Most people become angry or bitter, blinded by the beauty that still remains. But there is another way, a hidden path that turns emptiness into miracles. We have all been there. You wake up early, you work late, and yet your basket remains empty. You look at the sky and ask why this is happening to me. You feel like you are standing in a dry field, digging for water, but finding only dust. If you feel frustrated, if you feel like you are working harder than everyone else but getting nowhere, then stay with us. Today, we are going to look at why your frustration might actually be your greatest asset. We are going to explore the stories of those who felt lost, those who were exhausted by their own efforts, and how they found a quiet strength that changed everything. Think about the way we start our days. One small moment, one rude comment, or one plan that falls through, and suddenly your heart feels heavy, your mind becomes noisy, and you feel like you have lost control. But here is the first truth you must understand. The one who controls his reaction controls the moment. There was once a young man named Thomas. He was strong in his body, but weak in his peace. Thomas reacted to everything. If someone pushed him, he pushed back. If someone insulted him, he carried that insult for days. He didn't realize it, but every time someone hurt him, he picked up a stone and put it in a bag on his back. Soon, Thomas was walking with a bent back and a gloomy face. He no longer saw the colors of his village. His world felt dark, even on bright days. He thought he was carrying the weight of the world, but he was actually carrying the weight of his own reactions. On a mountain path, he met an old traveler who was walking lightly. The traveler told him something that changed his life. The person who hurt you is like a stone on the ground. They threw their words and walked away. They don't carry the stone. You are the one who chose to pick it up. You are the one who added the weight to your own journey. This is the first step for anyone who feels frustrated. You must learn to leave each stone where it falls. Your reaction is your burden, not their action. When you stop holding on to every hurtful word or every minor setback, you finally see how light your life can be. But what about the work itself? Many beginners feel frustrated because they are trying to do everything at once. They fill their days with many tasks, many ideas, and 1,000 small worries. They fear that if they stop even one thing, their whole life might break. This is the trap of the scattered hand. There was a landowner named Elias who was always afraid of losing what he built. To feel safe, he decided to dig 3 wells at the same time. He thought that more resources meant more safety. If one well failed, he would have 2 more. But as the weeks passed, Elias grew weary. He hurried from one well to the next, checking the soil, asking questions, but none of the holes were dry. Each hole grew wider, but they remained dry. His workers were tired, his money was vanishing, and he felt like he was doing a great deal, yet nothing important was happening. A wise master named Lazar visited him and showed him the mistake. Lazar didn't look at all 3 holes. He chose one. He moved with a slow, steady pace and did not divide his attention. Within a short time, the soil turned dark and fresh water began to rise. Lazar explained that life does not reward a scattered hand. Water lives deep. When you spread your strength in too many places, you will never reach the true source. Those empty wells weren't just dry, they were draining his life, his focus, and his days. If you are frustrated, ask yourself, am I digging 3 shallow holes, or am I deepening one well? Security is not made by having too much, it is created by a sharp, clear focus. Choose the task that truly matters and give it your very best effort. Let the unnecessary goals fall away. This brings us to a difficult question. What if you are focused and you are working hard, but the road is still closed? What if the bridge you need to cross is broken, or your plans are shattered by circumstances you can't control? There was a young man named Eli who dreamed of leaving his village to find gold. Every time he prepared to leave, something stopped him. First, the bridge broke, then his father fell and needed care. Finally, his donkey died. Eli felt like heaven had turned its face away. He asked why every door he tried to open was being closed. An old woman named Dara gave him 2 seeds. She told him to plant one on a hard, rocky path where people walked every day, and the other by a soft stream. Weeks later, the seed on the path was gone, cracked and dried, but the seed by the stream was a bright, firm plant. Dara told him that sometimes our plans are like that first seed. We press the dream into a place that cannot hold its life. A wiser hand than ours might be choosing where your life can truly grow. Those closed roads aren't always against you. They might be leading you away from stone and towards soft ground you cannot see yet. Eli stayed. He planted a tree. That tree grew wide and strong, providing shade and water for travelers. Eventually, the world came to him. He never became the traveler he dreamed of being, but he found a quiet purpose and a steady plenty he could never have planned alone. When you feel left behind, remember that you might not see the whole pattern yet. Sometimes a plan grows in silence, hidden from your eyes, rising only when the time is right. What feels lost may only be growing roots. But there is a secret to letting those roots grow. It is something most of us get wrong, especially when we are excited. We talk too much. Think about Simon. He was a man with big dreams. Every week he started something new, a shop, pottery, building a house. But before he even started, he told everyone in the village. People clapped and praised him, and Simon felt proud and important. But the next morning, his energy was always gone. He felt like he had already finished the work because he had already received the applause. He never touched the clay. He never opened the shop.
An elder showed him 2 seeds. One was buried in the dark soil, watered in silence. The other was held up for everyone to see, placed on a rock to be admired. The seed in the open dried up and died. The seed in the dark grew into a tree. A seed needs silence to grow. It needs the darkness of the earth. When you share your dreams too early, your mind thinks the goal is already achieved. You waste the energy you need for action on words. If you have a big idea, stay quiet. Let the seed grow in the dark soil of your effort. You don't need to announce what you are building. The world only needs to see what you have built. Real pride doesn't come from the applause of others. It comes from the quiet satisfaction of finishing what you started. Finally, we must talk about the empty basket. We are often taught that an empty hand is a sign of failure. We chase things, gold, success, approval, believing they will fill the void inside us. Like Marcus, the richest merchant, who had chests of jewels but felt like his heart was made of cold stone. He had everything, yet he trusted no one and smiled at no one. He was rich in things, but his reflection was faded and empty, because things cannot fill a heart. It wasn't until Marcus went on a journey and lost his coins in a river that he began to feel alive. He realized that material things decay, but experiences stay with you forever. They change who you are. This brings us back to Arya, the woman who thanked an empty basket. One day, the forest was empty. She found no berries and no mushrooms. She sat under a tree, tired and hungry, and whispered, "Thank you, empty basket." Why? Because if her basket had been full, she would have gone home early. She would never have met the lost, starving hunter who needed her help. Because her basket was empty, she stayed, and she was able to share the last of her bread and lead him to safety. That hunter turned out to be a merchant who eventually helped her reunite with her long-lost daughter. Her gratitude didn't wait for a gift. It turned emptiness into a space for a miracle. It made room for rescue and hope. Arya had nothing, yet her gratitude filled the lives of everyone around her. If you are frustrated right now because your basket is empty, remember this: emptiness is not the end. It is the space where miracles begin. Gratitude is not a reward for a good life. It is what makes life good. You don't wait to be grateful. You choose it when your basket is full, and you choose it when it is empty. That choice changes everything. It lightens the stones you are carrying. It deepens the well you are digging in silence. So tonight, before you sleep, we want you to try a simple practice. Sit quietly for 1 minute and place your hand on your chest. Think of one moment from today that feels heavy, a frustration, a closed door, or a disappointment. Imagine it as a stone in your hand. Then whisper softly to yourself, "This stone is not mine. I release it." Imagine placing it on the ground. Let it belong to yesterday, not to you. Do this every night. It will lighten your heart and clear your mind. Slowly, you will realize that you don't need to chase the shadow of happiness. It is already here, in the way you walk, in the way you react, and in the quiet strength of your own focus. Stop digging wide and start digging deep. Stop seeking permission to be yourself. Be like the wind, which moves where its heart leads and never asks for approval. Your life is not falling apart, it is being cleared for something new. Trust the process, trust the silence, and most importantly, trust the power of your own reaction. Thank you for spending this time with us. Walk lightly, react wisely, and remember, your empty basket might just be the most important thing you own.